you said that emotions aren't happening to you. Your brain makes them as you need them. You're the architect of your own experience. And I feel like this is a very hopeful statement. And I've always been curious about this because I tend to, I've had a habit in my life of just like waking up with anxiety. And so I like question like what's coming first? Is like the sensation of my body coming first, the thought, like what's coming first? But you say that emotions aren't happening to you. Can you just explain that statement a little?
Sure. I mean, the thing is that there's no circuit in your brain that triggers and makes you anxious. I know the feeling, I think I know the feeling that you're talking about, where as you're emerging into consciousness in the morning, your mind starts to race about all the things that you have to do in the day. And you start to feel like just not getting out of bed. Like it feels like a wave of anxiety. But really what it is a wave of arousal. I don't mean sexual arousal, but when your brain is preparing you for a big metabolic outlay, you experience that as high arousal, a racing heart, or if things are really uncertain or ambiguous, there's a neuromodulator, a chemical, which the brain uses to help the neurons, some neurons, make this chemical, and it helps other neurons to learn faster. So, but it makes you feel jittery and like, on edge, basically. So a lot of what we call anxiety, our go-to explanation is anxiety, is really, we have we're running a body budgeting deficit. There's a lot of uncertainty. And so there's a lot of arousal. And humans typically experience arousal as not so pleasant. Sometimes it's pleasant, but sometimes it's not pleasant. And a lot of times it's not pleasant. And actually you can train people to take unpleasant arousal and make meaning of it in a different way, as this is an evidence of like, you're preparing for a fight or you're being determined and it can change people's behavior in really remarkable ways. So you can take someone who has like terrible test anxiety, which could, ultimately lead them to in college. I mean, test anxiety can actually lead people to fail, not just a course, but out of college, which can affect their learning. I mean, their earning histories, hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout their lifetime. And you can teach them how their brains can learn to predict differently about what that arousal means. And so that they experience determination instead of anxiety. And it actually changes their ability to perform on tests and even stay in school.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Ianla Van Zandt, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.